Good morning children. Welcome to today's chemistry class. Now I am going to discuss about properties of bases, what are bases and properties of bases. In the previous video you might have learnt about acids. What are acids? What are the properties of acids and how many types of acids? Organic acids and inorganic acids you have learnt. Now watch the video and enjoy the lesson. Yes children, now today I am going to explain about bases. Bases are also chemical substances. Bases are also chemical substances which are bitter in taste. The taste of bases are bitter. Bases are chemical substances which are bitter in taste and soapy to feel. Means when you touch the bases, you feel like when you touch the soap, what type of feeling? The soapy feeling. Okay, the same feeling you will get when you touch the bases. So finally, what are bases? Bases are chemical substances which are bitter in taste and soapy to feel. Example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, formula KOH, potassium hydroxide. Okay, bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Now bases and alkalis, see the two terminologies children. Alkalis means bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. The bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. Means all bases are not soluble in water. Only few bases which are soluble in water are called, the bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. For example, sodium hydroxide is an alkali. Why it is an alkali? Because it is soluble in water. Now the next topic is indicators. Now one more point children. Bases are also, some are strong bases and some are weak bases. Like sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide are strong bases, and ammonium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide and copper hydroxide are all weak bases. Okay, now let us move to another topic, indicators. Indicator is a chemical substance and gives different colors in acids and bases, basic medium. Indicators are also chemical substances and gives different colors in acidic and basic medium. Now we'll discuss how to test the acids and bases. Indicators are useful in identify acids and bases. What are the uses of indicators children? Indicators are useful to identify acids and bases. Okay, we'll see examples. Here indicators, actually there are two types of indicators, natural indicator and synthetic indicator. We'll see one by one examples. First one, litmus. Litmus is an natural indicator. It is an indicator. It is obtained from leeches and it is purple in color children. Litmus solution is obtained from the lichens and it is purple in color. Okay, purple color changes to red in acidic medium. In presence of acids, the purple color is changed to red. Means if you wanted to test the acids, if you use the litmus solution, the purple color is changed to red. Okay, the same way if you wanted to test the bases, the purple color changed to blue in basic medium. Right? Next question you see. How to test the acids and bases? Acids and bases can be identified by litmus paper. Acids turn blue litmus paper to red litmus. Bases turn red litmus paper to blue. So you may have doubts, sir, how to make the blue litmus paper and red litmus paper means. Okay. When litmus solution, when it gives red color in acidic medium, if the papers dipped in red litmus solution, the papers are called red litmus papers. If the papers dip in the blue litmus solution, that papers are called blue litmus papers. So to identify acids and bases, we can use blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. Acids turns blue litmus paper to red and bases turns red litmus paper to blue. Some other examples of indicators. For example, turmeric powder. Turmeric powder is also a natural indicator. It turns red in basic medium and remains yellow color in acidic medium. In acids, same turmeric remains yellow color in acidic medium. Turmeric powder, it turns to red in basic medium. Next, juice of China rose, hibiscus petals. Juice of China rose or hibiscus petals are also act as natural indicators. It turns dark pink magenta color in acidic medium. Means in China rose color, it gives dark pink color, magenta color in acidic medium and green color in basic medium. Next, last one, phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is a synthetic indicator. It is a colorless solution. Phenolphthalein is just like a water. It is a colorless solution. It shows pink color in basic medium and colorless in acidic medium. This is very important, children. Phenolphthalein is colorless solution and it shows pink color in basic medium and colorless in acidic medium. Next concept is neutral reaction, neutralization reaction. Generally, chemical reaction between an acid and base is called as a neutralization reaction. Chemical reaction between an acid and base is called neutralization reaction. In this neutralization reaction, salt and water are formed. In any neutralization reaction, salt and water are formed. Okay. Now we will see yes children, now we will see some examples of neutralization reactions. See here, sodium hydroxide is a base. Base plus acid, HCl acid. When base and acid are reacted, we'll get salt and water. Here sodium chloride is salt and water is H2O is water. In any neutralization reaction, salt and water are formed. See another example. Potassium hydroxide is a base. H2SO4, sulfuric acid. Base and acid will get salt and water. Salt and water. Next, third example. Magnesium hydroxide plus nitric acid. Base, acid will get salt and water. These are examples of neutralization reactions. Next concept, naming of salts. Generally, salts are formed by the reaction of acid and base. Here you might have seen examples, children, in neutralization reaction and all. Salt is formed. So how the salts are formed generally? Salts are formed by the reaction between acid and base. Okay. So generally, how to call the salts? What type of name we should give the salts? Right? So salts of sulfuric acid. Salts of sulfuric acid are called sulfates. Sodium sulfate. Example you see, children. Salts of sulfuric acid are called sulfates. Salts of hydrochloric acid are called chlorides. Sodium chloride, potassium chloride, aisa. Salts of nitric acid are called nitrates. Salts of sulfurous acid are called sulfites. Salts of carbonic acid are called carbonates. Salts of acetic acid are called acetates. So whenever you are wanted to give the name of the salts, the name will be like this. The end of the name of the salt is like this. Sodium sulfate, potassium sulfate, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, sodium sulfite, potassium sulfite, sodium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, sodium acetate, potassium acetate, like this. So this is called as naming of salts. Whenever you wanted to give the name to particular salts, the salts should be like this. Okay. Next, properties of salts. These three properties of salts are very important, children. Salts are formed through reaction between acids and bases. How the salts are forming? Salts are formed through the reaction between acids and bases. When acids and bases are reacted, we'll get salts. Next, most of the salts are readily soluble in water. Most of the salts are readily soluble in water. Means they are soluble in water. They dissolve in water. Next, third point. Salts do not conduct electricity in their solid state. Salts do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, molten salts and solutions of salts in water conduct electricity. Salts do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, they conduct electricity in molten salts and solutions of salts. Means in liquid states, salt can conduct electricity. Once again, you see the children, properties of salts. First point is salts are formed through the reaction between acids and bases. And the second point, most of the salts are readily soluble in water. And the third point is salts do not conduct electricity in their solid state. However, molten salts and solutions of in water conduct electricity. Next children, last topic, classification of salts. Generally, salts can be classified into three categories: neutral salts, acidic salts, and basic salts. Neutral salts, acidic salts, basic salts. See, one by one we'll see. First, neutral salts. These salts are formed by the reaction of strong acid with a strong base. Strong acid and strong base are reacted, will get neutral salts. Next, solution of neutral salts is neutral. Neutral means neither acidic nor basic. Means it will not show acidic nature, it will not show basic nature. Neither acidic nor basic. So third one, salt solution does not change the color of litmus paper. It cannot change the color of the litmus paper. Why? Because it is neutral in nature. Neutral nature means it will not show acidic nature, it will not show basic nature. Examples you see, sodium chloride. How the sodium chloride is formed? Sodium hydroxide, strong base, hydrochloric acid, strong acid. From these strong base and strong acid, the sodium chloride came. Like that, one more salt, potassium nitrate, KNO3. This is also neutral salt. It is obtained from the strong base potassium hydroxide and strong acid nitric acid. Right? The same way, now we'll see the properties of acidic salts. These salts are formed by the reaction of strong acid with a weak base. Acidic salt means strong acid with a weak base. Acidic salt will obtain from when these salts are formed by the reaction of strong acid with a weak base. The solutions of acidic salts are acidic in nature. As their name is acidic salts, they will show acidic nature. And salt solution changes blue litmus paper to red. Why? Because solutions of acidic salts are acidic in nature. Acids turns blue litmus paper to red litmus paper. If you look at the examples, aluminium chloride, AlCl3. How we got the salt? Aluminium hydroxide, weak base, and hydrochloric acid, strong acid. When these two mix, we'll get aluminium chloride. Zinc sulfate. This is an example of acidic salt. Zinc hydroxide, weak base. Zinc hydroxide, ZnOH taken twice, weak base. And sulfuric acid, strong acid. When these two are mixed, we'll get zinc sulfate. And lastly, basic salts. These salts are formed by the reaction of weak acid with a strong base. As the name basic salt, the base strong base. The base should be strong base. Solution of basic salts is basic in nature. Basic nature means the salt solution changes red litmus paper to blue. Bases, you know how to test the bases. Bases turns red litmus paper to blue. The same way, the solution of basic salt is basic. So it changes red litmus paper to blue. Example, CH3COO Na, sodium acetate. CH3COOH, acetic acid, weak acid, plus sodium hydroxide, strong base. When these two are mixed, we will get CH3COO Na. And last example of basic salt, sodium carbonate. Sodium hydroxide, strong base, and H2CO3, carbonic acid. H2CO3, carbonic acid. When these two are mixed, we will get sodium carbonate. These are the classification of salts, children. Right? Next, children, one activity 4. This is important activity. What is that activity? To show that solutions of salts conduct electricity. solutions of salts conduct electricity. This is one good activity. Check how to do, what is the use of this activity. Take a beaker and fill it off with water. Dissolve some common salt. Common salt is sodium chloride in this water. Connect two graphite rods with the two terminals of a battery with 0-watt LED bulb in between as shown in the figure. Now dip these graphite rods in the solution of sodium chloride. The bulb starts glowing, indicating the flow of electric current. This shows that a solution of a sodium chloride can conduct electricity. Sodium chloride is salt. See children, once again this activity. This is a beaker. First they have taken water and they added some sodium chloride. So sodium chloride is dissolved in water. These two are called graphite rods. These are called electrodes. In higher classes you will come to know graphite rods. And here this is a wires. This is connected to the battery. This is connected to the battery, right? And here one bulb is connected. 0-watt bulb is connected. LED bulb is connected. You can understand what they have done. Here, from this one wire is given connected to one graphite rod. From another graphite rod, one wire is connected to this bulb. This is a circuit. We can say circuit. Okay. When you do this activity, if the bulb glows, that indicates the solutions of salt can conduct electricity. This is one important activity. From this activity, we can understand solutions of salts can conduct electricity. This is the chapter, children. This chapter is completed. Okay. Thank you.